They're doing great.
Do you have a movie for me to fix tonight?
My friend, do I ever? After long consideration, I had to seriously look as I prepared to see Scream 6 and realized that, you know what? Scream has fallen short for me. And I need you, I require you to please, for me, fix Scream 4.
So see, here's where it comes into it. Okay, Scream 4. So Casey thought Scream 4 was bad. Mick thought Scream 4 was good.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I think there's a better movie in there.
There
And
is.
that Vaseline soft lens murdered my eyes. That filter was horrifying.
I
It
hate it.
was so bad. Honestly, dude, I was listening to them, the actors doing their part, and it was fantastic. They did a really good job. I liked the story they told. There's a better story.
There is.
There's better things, and there's just the visuals, man. It hurt my eyes.
I
So
know.
please, for me, Mick, fix Scream 4.
Okay. All right. So you're absolutely right. Like, I like the movie. I really think I like the movie because it's a Scream movie, and Scream movies are like pizza or sex. Even when it's bad, it's good.
Truth.
Because you're getting what you're getting.
Mhm.
And that's it now. And none of it has been anywhere near the level of Scream 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where all bets were off and anybody could die.
Which is fantastic.
So coming into it at Scream 4, and it was sort of that return for Williamson, return for Wes Craven. I was very excited for it. But I do admit, like, there are a lot of story issues. Well, I could go into casting issues as well, but I'm going to be nice.
Okay.
What Scream 4 gets
Don't
right.
mess with Kirby, because Hayden Panettiere crushed it.
Well, that's where
Yay.
we disagree again. So, all right, I'll leave her in though for your sake.
No, go. You fix it. I want to hear you fix it.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, what it got right and what I would keep. I would keep Marley Shelton as the deputy, the overzealous deputy that's really into Dewey. That was funny on a level, but she still seems sort of like a competent cop. You could see her on the force. Like, I can't see Dewey on the force in the first one. It's like, what did you hire this guy for?
Yeah.
Her, I could still see, like, okay, I see why he hired her, but she's kind of dopey. And I liked her addition into 5 and who she played.
Agreed.
So I would keep that. Keep Kirby, keep her as sort of the new Randy. But I also like the fact of how they're playing it now and her being in the new one. So I'd like to keep that. Where do I really change it up is, one, you got to change up your tone and what you're feeling, or kind of like what your message is here. I know what he was going for with like remakes and reboots to things and going against them, but like Scream 5 did, it should have been more embraced, I think. It's like, okay, if this is what you want, this is what you're going to get. But you didn't up the ante, and that's where you really needed to. I think if you're not going to kill Sydney to keep this going, you definitely kill off Gale and you kill off Dewey.
Agreed.
At least Gale.
At least Gale, because it's a reboot. You have to kill, in my opinion, I think Sydney, because you're there, and I like the idea. I want to hear yours. I'm going to I'll interject after. Keep going.
So yeah, and I see where you're going with that, and I agree with you. Like, so the whole point of this was, it was almost like a next generation of Scream, and then the whole message at the end when Sydney kills Jill and says, "Don't fuck with the original." I got it, but the problem was it's boring for a horror movie.
Yes.
If you're going to keep these going, or you're going to bring it back, even if this was to them their last one, and they wanted to end it, you still ended it improperly because it never upped the stakes. The stakes were never risen. Like, you don't care about the kids that are being introduced, except Kirby, because all the horror fans can see themselves in her.
Well, and I like the long-haired kid, the nerd. He was
true. Was it Kieran Culkin? I think it was, or if it wasn't Kieran, it was the other one.
One of the Culkins, younger Culkin.
Yeah. So with him, he was a good character, but the problem was right off the bat, it seemed like he and the other kid were somehow in on this.
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah, no, there was no
You know?
hiding that. That they came out the gate a little too strong. That was the Williamson overzealous punch. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? That was 100% the Williamson going, "We're gonna slam this down your throat. You're gonna think it's that, but it is that."
Yeah.
It's like, "Ah, damn it, Kevin."
But I think the way you fix Scream 4 is like a lot of people, like when it comes to it, the movies that try to almost um copy their predecessors when they're being rebooted or something are the ones that get stale over time. The ones that tend to stick and kind of become cult classics, things like that, are the ones that completely change the formula and bowed out the old with the passing of the torch to the new in these reboots. So what they should have done was up the ante, kill Gale, maybe Dewey, definitely Sydney.
Mhm.
You don't make Jill the killer,
Mhm.
but you make the whole thing come off as if Jill is the killer,
Ooh.
killing a ghost face, but they're leaving clues behind for Jill, right?
Okay.
Uh, and to set her up or to frame her, like killing the best friend, or maybe you turn that into like a jealous sort
Mm.
of thing over the boyfriend,
And
or
that still ties in with the Cottontail from early on in,
Mhm.
like, Scream 1 and 2, how Cotton Mather always came into play. So, yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Sydney comes back because these killings are happening because she, like, Jill calls her and says, like, I need help. You're the only one that's dealt with these ghost face. I don't know what's going on. And now it leads Sydney down this path of like, can I trust her? Is she actually the killer? What's happening? Then she gets killed and Jill's on her own, has to pick up and figure out who it is and why it's happening and then stop it. And
Mhm.
now you don't even have to continue on with Jill. You could go where they went to in this with a whole new group,
Mhm.
but at least that would have passed, and then have Kirby pass the torch or whatever, and it could still be the same. But now you take Sydney off of the table. Maybe she survives, and you could, but she has to get messed up real bad.
Yeah.
And one of the main characters, had to die, and they didn't do that. And I felt like that's where your cop out was. You weren't making a horror movie; you were making a message.
Yeah.
And so that's how I would fix it. Whereas, like, maybe this one isn't so every one of them has been the killer is like almost getting revenge
Yeah.
on Sydney,
Yep.
and some tie to it. So why not make it look like somebody's getting revenge on Jill by setting her up?
Yeah, see, I like that a lot. That would be fun because then you can turn that POV. You can start it from the Sydney side and do like a mid movie handoff
Yeah.
where it kind of becomes the passing of the torch right then and there, or even abruptly in the beginning, however you want to do it. But I like that. I like that, buddy. Okay. Do you have anything else you would change and fix? The story definitely gets better.
Well, no, just turning it into that aspect keeps it, I think, would keep it fresh. Again, going forward, your Sydney's now gone, the torch is
Hmm.
passed, something new is happening, and then but it gives you that twist, because
Yeah.
that was the most interesting part about the original. It's like you don't know who it is,
Hmm.
and then when it gets to it, it's like, oh my god, it's them! Like, really, I didn't
Yeah.
see Stu being that, and it was really Billy, even though he didn't make the calls, or whatever that was at the time. So now, and there was a great twist how they played that off.
Hmm.
So if you're gonna reboot it after trying to do twists in 2 and 3, that, let's
Yeah.
face facts, like
Felt.
one was a retcon and the other one was the
Yep.
mom. So it's like
Yep.
it was good, but it wasn't on the level as the first one.
Yeah.
You
Agreed.
have to have something that's on the level of the first one, and I think that's where you do it. You kill her off and leave it to find out that Jill isn't the actual killer.
Mhm. I dig that one a lot. The other way I would go that I was
Mhm.
thinking about when I brought this up because I had to rewatch it today and it was fresh in my mind. We love these conversations. I would have let Jill win.
Oh, that's a
I
good
would
one.
have had her kill everyone. And then
Yeah.
Dewey and Gail like become friends with her and she actually doesn't go full psycho. She's able to like somehow control it. She's got what she wants. So she's
Mhm.
happy. And that would be fascinating because then the revenge tale coming after her is because whoever's coming after her knows she was Ghostface. So that opens up the
Yeah.
reboots that way and the
Yeah, and
continuation.
if you could go back and retcon it in some way, because now you know that Sam from 5 and 6, who's Billy Loomis's daughter,
Mhm.
is in high school with them. She was a freshman when they were seniors when this was happening. if you could somehow tie that in to,
Exactly.
but I mean, you could do that, but you really can't. Like fixing a movie, you got to go with the movie and where it was in that time. But yeah, I think, and I like what you're saying about changing up, let Joe win. My only thing with that is if you can let Joe win, it would be a great movie. I think that would just amplify it. But if you want to keep the franchise going, because it's so steeped in cliche,
You still need a final girl.
you still need a final girl. There's got to be, or you could transfer that to Kirby, as in like Jill survives, beats them, tricks everyone except Kirby.
Except Kirby. And now Kirby's kind of like underground, kidding herself back into it. Yeah, I like that one too. That's a really good one. That's
So
a good way to do it.
Something along those. So I mean, it'd be kind of cool, but then it would add that element, and then maybe take the Scream franchise into a different place, back into more of a mystery.
Well, because then you have Ghostface just becomes a revenge spirit.
That's true.
I like people who start revenge killings with the face of Ghostface. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. So Casey, tell me, did I fix Scream 4?
1,000%, my friend. McManhattan, you fixed Scream 4. Thank you very much for doing that. I appreciate it.